Thank you for joining me, and today I wanted to share my future predictions. Being a psychic medium, I'm curious by nature. I meditate and ask tough questions about human survival. I want to know what challenges the world could face in the future. So I'm going to share questions that I asked my spiritual team and the answers they gave me. I have no way of knowing if these things will ever happen or become an issue, and I am not or never have been in the medical field. My son and I had COVID-19 in 2021, and we knew people who died from the virus like many others. We considered ourselves very blessed to have survived that. The following predictions were not meant to frighten people, but my guides felt that future generations must be aware of them since they will affect them the most. So the first question that I asked, is there anything that threatens human survival between now and 100 years from now? My guide's answer is there will be more threats to humanity in the form of disease. Diseases such as cancer and heart disease have much to do with what is put in foods and their packaging. Chemicals in food in certain containers are not healthy for the body. If a person has cancer cells, they will multiply, and heart disease will be on the rise because people are getting used to ordering everything from groceries to shopping and dinner, thus causing younger people to become more sedentary, which will cause many heart problems. Heart disease that was found in older people will be found in younger people due to lifestyle. Obviously, those medical issues seem to be a threat to everyone now and are not necessarily hard to figure out, but if my guides bring it up, then it must get worse in the future. Okay, here's another question. Will the world face another deadly virus similar to COVID-19 in the future? My guides answers yes, it will come from Asia and be more dangerous than COVID. It comes from rodents such as mice and other types. They will become infected and transfer it, and many become sick and die. More vaccines are being created for rodent type of contagions, but this will be similar to the plague from centuries ago, and people won't be prepared. Here's another question. Can we do anything to keep this from becoming another pandemic? The answer is the only thing that will help people from not getting infected so fast is keeping rodents away from the home and pets. Insects can transfer from animal to human, so people must also safeguard their bodies from insect bites. It is challenging to eliminate all sources, but it will help prevent them from spreading quickly. The governments will get better at stopping outbreaks like COVID in the future. They will implement more safety practices to get it under control more rapidly than the COVID pandemic. People in Asia need to stop consuming rodents because that will be how this will spread in the beginning. Symptoms will be similar to the plague but spread faster. Here's another question. Is there anything people can do to slow this from spreading? The answer from my guides is, if cities controlled rodent populations better, it wouldn't be so bad for people in the future. Again, everyone must keep rodents out of the home and away from pets, especially cats. Cats will spread it to an entire family if they catch a diseased rodent. These precautions need to happen in Asian countries first, but everyone must take precautions as diseases can mutate, like the plague, and get worse and kill more. Scientists know this, and hopefully the government will create more vaccines in time. Here's another question. Does medical technology become more advanced in the future, and if so, how? My guide says medical technology will improve in the future, and there will be more cures for cancer if caught early. More cancer screenings will be available to ensure a person doesn't have it. If they do, the technology will be advanced enough to cure it quickly. People who don't get screened annually will not benefit as it has to be caught right away, so the medicine will work. That's why doctors and scientists want everyone to have access to these screenings to detect deadly diseases sooner than later. It will also significantly affect the cost of health care and curing cancer. Doctors will screen infants after birth to see if they could be at risk for certain diseases. That way, parents can stay on top of it. People will be against it, but this will be necessary for human survival. It will ultimately be a choice everyone has to make for themselves. Okay, here's another question. In the next 100 years, will there be attacks on cities like what happened during 9/11? My guide says the U.S. can fight off missile attacks, but there will be more attacks in highly populated cities such as New York City. There will be bombings all over the city by a group of men from the Middle East. They will have been living and working in New York for several years. They will make bombs to use in popular tourist locations to kill hundreds of people at a time. These men will remain low-key for many years and build enough bombs to cause a lot of chaos in the city at different times. They will be disguised as workers so that they will blend in. They will get caught, but not right away. These men will be all over the city living in different locations, making it hard to find who is responsible. Many innocent people will die because of these evil men. After this, employers will perform more background checks, and it won't just happen in New York. It will be in other places as well. A city with a large population is where they will focus the attacks. The country will have to start screening all foreigners and find a way to keep track of them living or staying in the country. In the future, tracking specific individuals will become a routine for those who weren't born in the country but want to stay. The government will track certain people, so if or when an attack occurs, they can easily see who lives or works nearby and keep an eye on them for security reasons. Many will be against it, but won't have a choice if they want to reside in a country they weren't born in. Here's another question. Does the government track people now? My guide says yes, a form of tracking is already in place when citizens obtain a driver's license or an ID card. Some areas require a fingerprint when getting or renewing a driver's license. That is the way to check for criminal history. Although the tracking of foreigners will become much more advanced due to attacks on the country, not just in the United States. The world has to adjust when evil strikes. It's always been that way, and it will keep changing because evil keeps trying new ways to harm the innocent. So those were all the predictions that I had, the questions and answers from my guides, and I hope you enjoyed that, and thanks for listening again. Love and light.